Hello everyone, we are here with another grounded video. Today's video we're going over what I think you should prep for 8.0. So we're going to start with, if you've built over here by the hedge, I'm going to go into photo mode, back up, see there's the hedge, the retaining rock wall, bird bath over here to the right, this is my red base, the motel, the basketball court. This was the grand staircase. Put a rock in the middle of it. Oh, close. They have a rock in the middle of it, and if you shift around this way, I'm trying not to get there. You see the base is kind of floating in the middle of nowhere. So, if you've built over here, be prepared for some of these kind of changes. This is where you used to be able to jump up on the clover leaves. You could hop them, parkour across, I think, 2 or 3 of them. Hop up. There's a little bit of raw science right here. You could run up the left side of the mud and go to the hedge lab in the back. Well, they've taken that away. You either have to build an elevator, which I'll show when I switch to my most current save, or you have to go through the hedge approach, going through here. A lot longer than coming up this way. Not sure why the change was. The change was actually supposed to happen in 7.0. It was a month behind. I kind of really wish it wasn't, because I hadn't built any of this back here yet, and I would have built differently. So I lost some stuff in the mud in here. There's a couple of water containers. You can see the edge of one right there. There's 5 more that I just can't get to. There's a couple pieces in there. I have already moved this bar and relocated it. I just haven't done the water containers. I'm not going to. As well as one of my tanneries is kind of messed up. I didn't lose any of my jerky racks, which is good. So I just have to basically get them out of here, tear down as much as I can, salvage as much of the resources as I can, and then, build or rebuild. And that's what I'm working on. I'm about to switch to that new save file right now. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Alright, so here we are on my latest save file. As you can see, I have put in a lot of pebble foundations, because pebbles, the big ones, the ones you can break for 7 pebblets, they're respawning again every 3 days, I think it is. So that makes doing this a lot easier, because I know spots where there's a bunch of pebbles, such as there's a bunch right here by Rake Rock Point. There's a bunch up in here. There's some in Spade Gulch, and there's some over here as well. This is a little more dangerous. There's a couple spiders and bombardier. There's one bombardier here. This one over here, you just gotta be careful of the one bombardier that might wander. Maybe a spider will wander. But basically, I just did the wall up to make it to where you can't see underneath the base, so it's all nice and pretty. It's expensive, I know that. I'm not worried about that, though. Then I put an elevator in the front. Like I said, I lifted the bar already. So the bar is up here. The kitchen is just simple now. Had a little issues getting some of the lights to stick, because one thing you can't do with these lights anymore, attach them to each other. I took that away. And then I've been working on raising the tanneries. That's what's going on back here. I'm lifting it up. I'm going to foundation everything. I don't care how much it costs. I'm going to do it. So that is one thing. If you've built over here, be prepared for your stuff to be affected. Be prepared to have to do something ridiculous when it comes to reworking it or destroying it, or just accepting it the way it is and keep going. I was not going to accept it the way it was, so I made massive changes. Let me go ahead and pause. We're going to go over to my new 4-leaf clover base, which you can't see because we're too far away from it. And let me go underground and show you some stuff down there as well that you need to be ready for. Alright, so here we are in Spade Gulch. Where's the spade? Oh, it's up there, you just can't see it. So this is the entrance to one side of the larva cave. I came here because the way I have these lights set up, yes, I know they're expensive. You can't do this anymore. Lights underground have been taken away completely. So that includes hanging these up here, because one of the first things they did with 8.0 was they took away the ability to put these underground. So I found a workaround by putting these up there. They took that away within days. So, lights underground, you better do it before you get on 8.0 or else you can't do it. And yes, you can hang them down like this. You cannot do this even where you attach them to the bottom of another one. You cannot do that in 8.0. So this will not attach. So once they are there, I mean, they're good to go. You see the blueprints are still there, so I'm good to go as far as building the blueprints and completing them and attaching lights. And you see all the lights I have attached. I haven't attached these over here yet, but you can still attach these guys. One thing I would recommend if you're coming down here to mess with the larva, bring a repair tool. They jumped up and hit this while I was fighting them just a second ago, which I thought was bizarre, but, you know, whatever. They jumped up and attacked that, even though I was standing right here. But anyway, so, one, repair tool so you can fix these things, but two, get your lights underground. If you want to light up these areas, you better do it now because it won't last. There won't be an available ability once you get on 8.0. So, and you guys have probably, if you have not seen, I do have a video on lighting the anthill. I'll link that in the description below. As far as you cannot do that once you get on 8.0. Let me pause. We're going to go to one more base. Alright, and now we're over here at the last stop for this video, and that is to mess with the smoothie station. So the smoothie station still takes 3 flavor ingredients, is what they call them, which is your memorized recipes. Your green machine is 1 plant fiber, 1 sprig, 1 clover leaf. But now if you want to make the normal version, you have to put in some grub goop. If you want to make the beefy version, which is the new kind of replacement for plus versions, you have to use mussel sprout. Now in the plus versions in 7.2, it is 2 green machines and a mussel sprout to make the plus version. Well, now this one is just the 3 flavor ingredients and mussel sprout. There's your beefy green machine. I have not confirmed this, but I've heard reports that the duration, as far as, you know, how long they last, is more along the same lines as the regular. It's just double the healing. Whereas in 7.2, the plus versions last 2 to 3 times longer. Like Workers' Comp, for instance. The plus version of Workers' Comp lasts 6 minutes in 7.2. I've not tested it, but from what I've been told, it lasts pretty much the same amount of time as Workers' Comp. Not 100% sure on that, but it is something to consider. So basically, I've also messaged the devs about a suggestion of having this stuff being able to be pulled out of nearby boxes. That way you only have to have either mussel sprouts or grub goop on you, and then the rest of it just pulls from the boxes. That way you can just pick which one you want. This, you just go in here, pull the recipe, there's your 3, bam, throw it in. Then do this, and there's your, whoops, regular green machine or the beefy green machine. So one thing you see is, in order to make a smoothie, you have to have at least some grub goop. So start farming your grubs, start saving your grub goop, start storing it somewhere near this thing. Spider. Oh, that's that spider. Okay, water spider. Makes sense. So that's one thing I would definitely tell you is stock up on grub goop. So of the things you probably want to look out for is if you've built where my red base is, over here, be prepared for some changes to the landscape. If you want to do lights in your caves, get the blueprints down now. You don't have to complete them. Just get the blueprints down now before you hit 8.0, which you can tell right up here what version you're in. Also, when you go to the first start screen, like before you hit the, you know, pick if you want to start a new game, whatever, it's in the top right as well. It lets you know. But make sure that you have all the lights underground that you want underground before 8.0 hits. I don't know when it's going to drop, but it's a few days away, so at least get the blueprints laid out. I mean, you don't have to worry about completing them before, but get the blueprints laid first. And then farm up grubs. You're going to need grub goop to make smoothies going forward. So that's the 3 major things. Be prepared for terrain changes by the hedge. Get your lights underground. Farm grub goop. That's the 3 things that I would definitely stress right now. So if you guys like this content, would like to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And until the next video, you guys have a good one.